Hey, everybody. So, look on the screen children sleeping in offices. These are children who are in the foster care system, sleeping in offices. I had a conversation with a woman who was a baby mom, single mom, and I'm not going to argue about it, but I just state my point. And I was telling her, I said, listen, you have a baby daddy, and this guy does not contribute to the child whatsoever. He's a drop in. Okay? He may drop in once he's dropped in to say, hey, here's a gift, not that he bought, but that his mother, the grandmother, bought. He's dropping it off. And I said, I know it's hard to take, but look at it this way. A man knows, and sometimes there are some men who are single dads, parents as well. Some women, they drop them off on the dad. That does happen. And I've read a story about a man, basically, he raised his daughter, and it was the best thing. Why? The mother, while out in the streets, I mean, she had no contact with his daughter. He raised on his own, structured, and the girl was headed to college. Okay, the way he described the mother, that was never going to happen. So, this case here, I was talking with a lady, and I said, "Listen, you know, the guy doesn't care about his child." And maybe I was a little too harsh. Sometimes I'm like so direct. I said, basically, he doesn't. When a parent deserts a child, let's say a child is born, they're at the hospital, and you like take off. I said that person, you don't want to face it, but the person doesn't care whether their child lives or dies. What they're saying to you is, hey, you're a brand new baby. Congrats, welcome to the world. But I'm out of here. Either A, your mama's gonna take care of you, or her family, but I'm out. It's as simple as that. There is no, he cares. No, 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 no. He may stop by. Why? Because he's bored. Because even if there's a financial issue, then guess what? You can still be a parent. That doesn't stop you from being a parent. I still can wrap my head around some women who have a baby dad who doesn't work. Doesn't work now and not paying child support. She's working and paying daycare. Make it make sense. You have a baby daddy that you respect now. And I'm talking about chicks that are trying to talk positive about these guys. And it's like the delusion is real. A baby daddy. And what I'm talking about, he just started working last week. No, 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 no. He hasn't worked all year before the pandemic. Not working is his MO. And you're still trying to speak positive about this man. And I'm like, if he cares, I don't care about you guys getting along. Why he can't babysit his kid and you're paying all this daycare? That's money you could be saving, putting for your child's future. It's money you could be investing. But see, our group, a lot of people have a poverty mindset. And you're still trying to think positive about this man. He get himself together. Maybe we're going to be a family. Keep hope alive, honey. It's not going to happen. Just not. So I just told her, when a man deserts his child, he doesn't care whether that child lives or dies, in my opinion, because he's totally gone. Totally gone. You can't even count this guy for a birthday present once a year. He does not care. And I know in her circumstance, you're looking at your beautiful child, and you're just like, that's just not possible. Here is this wonderful human being that we created, and you love this child so much, he doesn't feel the same way. That is what's hard for some baby mamas to face. You cannot think that he could be this heartless. I remember talking with a guy, and he was like, oh, yeah, what I'll do when I come in, he'll start an argument. It's like I start an argument on purpose so I can do what? Head right on out the door. I thought, wow, start an argument, come in. Hey, how you doing? He said he'll look around and find something unsure. Man, you haven't done this, haven't done that. Start complaining. He says, why? That's his game. So he can just find an argument, a way to get out. He got somewhere to go. He has someone else to be. But he wants to pretend as if, oh man, I came over here to see my child and it just went totally wrong. So he does that on purpose. And he was smiling, telling me about it. I listen. Wow, quite deceitful. So yeah, he comes in trying to start an argument on purpose so he can have a reason to get out the door. And it's like, you know what? Just forget. I'm up out of here. And now the whole business is blown. So he's pretending that, oh my, he gives a darn, but he really doesn't. So for women, I know it's hard to accept, but it is what it is. If someone, let's say I'm sitting here stranded, okay, and my man is like, oh, I'm out here, I'm in the middle of the street. and I can't get up and I can't walk. Come and help me. Come get me. And he's sitting on the sofa and not coming out. I got to face reality. That guy doesn't care about me. Then some strangers come along. What was he doing? Oh, he was watching TV. Watching TV. And I don't know. I need help. Well, the same thing with a child. And that's hard to face, but that's my opinion. It's a tough one. So, looking at this here is the reason why I have an issue with poverty D and poverty P, because they're putting children here and the children are suffering. Sure, something's happened, but when you habitually, you're sitting up here, you got 6 kids, 10, 5, and you're already in poverty, all it takes is for one parent something to go wrong, the one that stays, and the kid could end up in foster care or anything. Look at this video and tell me how these kids are supposed to grow up feeling loved and wanted. Look where they're sleeping. They don't have a home, and they can't even find them a home. So this is how I think you raise up maybe some people to be very heartless and cold. Fair use. Okay. Oh, sorry.
News tonight when it comes to children who are in custody of Child Protective Services. Some foster children in Harris County have been spending the night in CPS offices. Our Michael Leparty live at Energy tonight. And Michael, how does something like this happen?
Dominique, the state says there are several reasons, including capacity issues. CPS has some offices in this building that's just behind me here, but we don't know the exact locations or buildings where the children might have stayed because the state doesn't say. Regardless, one local organization wants to help. The donations have already started arriving.
We've got pillows over there already.
Pillows, sheets, and blankets at the Sanctuary Foster Care Services hopes will help kids without a permanent home.
All I know is that, hey, they have a need, and we're here to help with that need.
Executive Director Amanda Boyd's nonprofit is taking up a collection of new twin bedding for foster kids, including those sleeping in CPS offices.
We just jumped in to help and to make sure that we could support them in any way that they can, because we know that everybody is trying to do the best that they can in this situation.
The Texas Department of Family and Protective Services says the number of kids who spent at least 2 nights without a traditional foster care placement in Harris County increased from 49 in May to 60 in June. For children without placement, some are staying in CPS offices. Others are in hotels or church and community facilities. The state says the problem isn't new, but recently became worse because of COVID and a loss of beds for kids with intense care needs. A spokeswoman told us, quote, wherever the children are, they are supervised 24/7 by DFPS staff. DFPS is actively seeking real solutions every day, with the safety of the children we serve always at the forefront.
We started this on Friday night, and it has picked up speed rather quickly.
The Sanctuary's Megan Lagoy says with a response like this, the group hopes these items will benefit kids in other parts of the state, too.
Wow.
The state says that most of the kids without placement are teenagers who have a history of either psychiatric or behavioral issues. And to address the overall issue, the state says it's been working with providers to identify unused space, also working to fill about 100 temporary positions to relieve employees who work with these children. As for that nonprofit that you saw in the story there, we'll post more information about their efforts on this story on click2houston.com. Reporting.
So a lot of them are, you're saying, are suffering from psychiatric issues. My question is, how do we get there? What happened? Something happened. Did most of these issues happen in the home that led to this? They just had a horrible story. I cannot even do a story on it. About an 11-year-old. And it was a black man taking an 11-year-old girl around and letting other men buy her. 11 years old, across the state lines. And when they found her, she ended up being in a psychiatric ward. She'd gone through so much. Traveling around hotel to hotel, making money off this young girl, a baby, 11 years old. And it was reported that she ended up in a psychiatric ward. Mind messed up. So this here, sometimes those kids are going through so much at home. When the parent kick them out, they leave, they see it's a whole lot of dysfunction. Now this, and this is how you raise people that are hardened. Now some people are able to go through a foster system and they get older and they can make it out. Understandable. But guess what? It doesn't happen that way for everyone. It just doesn't. It really doesn't. So that there, no one wants to take in those children. That's a lot to take on. Okay, they may get violent, but my thing is how to get there. How did that happen? What were the parents? What were the parents? So a lot of times people just have kids, poverty D, poverty P, and nobody really gives a darn. No one really plans. Just oh well, whatever, and then just walk away. So think, how did these children get to a point where they're in the foster care and sleeping in offices? Something happened. They didn't just wake up and, oh, he was born, he was already 18. He was obviously, no. They were born into more than likely dysfunctional, unsafe environments. And this lets you know there's so many. And when it comes to a point, some experiences can shape people. Maybe this father having some of those issues. Where was the protection in the home? Where was the family unit? Where was the mom? Where was the dad? Where was the protection for the child? Where was it? Nowhere. Nowhere around. And maybe some horrible things happened. And now the child's in foster. Oh my goodness, it's so many of them. And nobody wants to take them in. So yeah, the big question is how'd they get there? How did those individuals get there? Where were the parents? Where were they? Where are they now? Remember the young girl that was shot by the police when they had the fight, and the other girls that came over, and she had the knife, and the cop didn't even get the full understanding. And before she had the knife, and he just, I guess to stop it in his mind, he shot and killed her. Oh, that horrible police officer. Yeah, I got one more for you. The parents. Where were the parents? How did she end up in the foster care system? But they sure showed up. I did a video on it. They definitely showed up when it came to getting an attorney. We know how it goes. You showed up because now you want to go ahead and get a GoFundMe going, and you want to get a check going out. That's now you show up. But stop and think. Just the cops? No, the parents. How did she get in that foster home? Nobody could take care of her. But when it came to maybe a chance to get some money, man, they knew how to show up then, didn't they? Oh, they showed up. The mom and the dad. He was at the fighting acting, but the mom. Where the hell was she? Your daughter. So you something to think about. It's really sad. How did the kids get there? How did the kids get there? Where were the parents? You could keep your own kid. You didn't have anything intact. Maybe you checked out. Did you have a plan in place? No, you don't think. You just do. And then as a result, you put a human being here, you neglect it, you subject that child to any and everything, and then these things happen. So how are these kids going to grow up feeling loved and wanted and cared for? Children sleeping in offices. Parents. The people that have no business being parents. And then when that child is hardened and angry and hurt and wounded, don't know, been through hell and back, they go into society and watch out. That's why you have some of the problems that you have, all this anger and taking them out on other people. I did the best I could. That's so played out. It's played out like an 8-track. And some people don't even know what that is. Played out like an 8-track. Out of here like last year. It's done. So this here, children sleeping in offices, The office didn't have those kids. The parents did. Where the hell are they? So you guys feel free to comment, maybe enlighten me. Like, subscribe, and share. And I'm out. Stay safe and just love your kids. Thank you.